Hi, I'm Juan Mestas, Chancellor of the University of Michigan, Flint. It is said that the true wealth of a person is measured by the good deeds he has done and the good friends he has made. By that measure, Joe Freyre is a truly wealthy man. Joe is a musical treasure of this region. He has enriched the life of so many people of all ages with his musical talent and his passion for teaching. A short time ago, Joe suffered 2 strokes. As his medical expenses mounted, his friends decided to hold a benefit concert, providing the opportunity to give back to someone who has given so much. You are about to see highlights from that very special concert. University of Michigan Public Television proudly presents Jazz for Joe.
We organized a committee. We got together for the first week. I saw over 20 people at that meeting, and I thought to myself, by the time the second meeting comes, I wonder if there'll be 5 people here. And the next week there was 30 people there.
It's so wonderful to see all these people that you don't get to normally see on these gigs with all the jazz musicians, and it's like a real homecoming for everybody to talk to people that you've heard of and maybe not even seen before.
When you think of all the people that have followed Joe throughout his entire career, it's no surprise at all that this is a great turnout.
I think it's phenomenal. I never seen so much respect for one musician as I have for the showing the support they've had for Joe. This is fantastic. These guys are really playing some great stuff. They're really on.
heck of a job. And just see this many people all gathered here to hear this music be performed is great. It's great. And I hope they all come to the festival. And when you see and hear a jazz musician playing somewhere, stop and tell him you care. Because sometimes that's all you're going to get. But that's all right, too, because it's worth so much. You know, it really is.
I met Joe, I think when I was 13. I was going to the Center for the Arts and Sciences, and it was a teacher instructor named Billy Howe, and he brought Joe in to help the drummers out, help the whole big band out. And I met this guy, and he just took me under his wing. You can tell I can play a little bit, right? And he taught me how to read, he taught me how to play, and different time signatures, and you know, different licks, and just taught me about jazz, period. What a soul.
Joe used to play trombone and trumpet, and I think he's one of the finest interpreters of song. He thrills me with song, and he has good taste.
He's been a good friend. He's always got a kind word to say about everybody. He's very inspiring. You talk to him about music, and he kind of lights up, and And I also made a remark to him today. I said, I heard that he was bummed out because he can't play, because he's paralyzed right now. And I told him, man, you're playing through all of us. And I mean that, Joe, you're playing through all of us, and we love you.
We, and I say we because many of them and myself, we have performed for other cats who have met with some adversity, shall we say. But that's what musicians are, because they care, they really care.
I think it's amazing. You know, Joe has been teaching all of us about jazz and about music and about the love of music. And, you know, I've ran into so many friends. It's just been great to hear the music and watch Joe's expressions.
I saw Joe when I was in junior high school. He brought the People's Jazz Band to our high school, our junior high school, and he had such a powerful personality. I said, man, and the way his band worked and the tunes that they were playing, he had all the kids were just riveted by what he was doing, and he got the kids involved. And when I was in Mott Community College, I was in the combo, and I met him there, and we played a gig.